Hello everyone, it's Reefer here and welcome to yet a new Reef Keeping 101 video. First of all, apologies for not uploading a video last week when I was just too busy and couldn't find the time to make a decent video. But today there's a new one for you, so no despair. And today's video will focus on the big tank that you're seeing right now, and the topic of today is filtration in your tank. Because filtration is a very important way of reducing dust in your water and removing all kind of dirty stuff from your tank, impurities, in order to make your reef thrive. Now, I've had quite some difficulties over the past year in getting this tank up and running nice and smoothly, as you might be aware if you've seen a couple of my previous videos. In the meantime, I've recovered quite a bit, so I thought I'd share with you a couple of those experiences, things that went well, things that didn't go so well, and overall what I've done to get this reef back into a somewhat decent shape. It's not there yet, but we're getting there, so I just wanted to share that with you. So there's two types of filtration that I can name out of the top of my head that are important, which are mechanical filtration. So there's filtration by using additional equipment, and there's natural filtration, and that's being achieved by having tank inhabitants that filter the water for you. So that's actually something like live filtration. Because it's actually organisms or fish or whatever cleaning your water column. So let's start with mechanical filtration, since this is the most tangible of the two. And well, first of all, to get water clarity, there's a couple of things you can buy. One of them is, of course, pumps. So pumps filter around the water and move around the water in your tank in order to get all the dust moving. So regular pumps will of course generate flow, and if there's any dust on your rocks, for example, or fish poo, or it's on the sand, as you can see right here, for example, in the middle there is quite a bit of detritus on the sand, then by using flow you can start moving around this dust particles, so you can move it to the sump area or the area that you've designated for your other equipment, which we'll get to in a minute. So a lot of pumps is a good way of getting decent flow in the water, and by having decent flow you're moving around all the dirty stuff in your tank in order for it to be removed. Now there's something that I've used in the past, which I hadn't used for quite a while now, which are called power filters. So this is actually the view from the top of the tank, so the edge, the far end, all the way to the back. You can see it's still a little bit dusty, but it's a lot better than what it used to be. So there's two types of, there's a type of pump that you can use to directly remove dirt from the water, and it's commonly referred to as a power filter, and you can see one right here. Now mind you, this one is a Giesemann power filter, which is actually quite noisy, so I still need to replace this one with a Tunze E-Jet, which is a lot more silent and also looks a little bit better aesthetically. Normally this pump is behind this black piece of foil, but just for this video I've moved it a bit to the front so you can see it. So it's actually just a pump, like a return pump, but smaller, and instead of sucking water, there's a canister in here with filter floss, and by replacing the filter floss it pulls the water through the filter floss and then releases it back into the tank. So it's very common to a regular return pump, very similar, except for the fact that it has filter floss in a canister. And of course all the little particles that float inside your tank will be sucked through the filter floss and remain there. And of course you need to clean out this filter floss regularly. So when your tank is very dirty, you might replace it daily. But once your tank gets cleaner and cleaner, you might skip that for a day and then even 2 days, and so over time it will get cleaner and cleaner. Now, because there was a lot of dirt in my tank, I've also installed a second power filter in my sump. Now I hope this will be visible. Yeah, okay, the lighting is going pretty well. So there's an old Jecod pump right there, which is also a 4,000 liter return pump with the same kind of principle, where there's filter floss attached by using a large PVC pipe. And I know this is a bit dark, but trust me, there's a second power filter in there in order to also filter the water that goes back into the sump, and filters it before releasing it back into the pump by the main return pump. So as you can see, if you've seen some of my previous videos, the tank is a lot clearer now, has a lot less dust floating inside of it, so that's definitely a big plus. It looks a lot better, and of course it's healthier for your tank, since all the dust is dirt and dirt should be removed. Now the second one is a very obvious one, of course. Removing dirt from the tank is your skimmer, or skimmers in my case, because I have two. These also remove the fine dust particles, but also of course all the other impurities that are in your tank. Then there's one more type of equipment, which is called a UVC filter. You might be aware of it. And this actually filters the water and removes kind of the yellow hue that's inside your tank. If it's inside your tank, please consider one of these UVC units. This is a JBL one, but there's a lot of brands. Aquamatic has the Helix, which is also a very good UVC unit, very compact. This one is quite bulky, but that's fine for my tank. This will filter the water and yeah, make your water look a lot clearer than if you don't have one. And then there's another type of filtration that's called carbon, activated carbon, and this will also remove kind of the hue from the water, but will not do a lot of stuff filter wise. So that's something that definitely helps for clearer water, but not as much for filtration. So the second type of filtration that I mentioned earlier in this video was natural filtration. And when you think about natural filtration, you think about animals. Very obvious animals, for example, like this this fish right here, a Sex cutata, which is a sand sifting fish. And as you can see, I hope it will display some of its qualities. No, it's hiding a bit. It actually takes bites of sand and filters them through its gills. So it's removing essentially the dirt from the sand and releasing it back into your water column while leaving behind clean sand, which is of course a very convenient way of slowly removing all kinds of dust from your tank. And because these fish are on 24/7, they actually remove a lot of dust, or a lot of dirt, even though they're only taking small bites. But then again, taking small bites at a time will also work if you do it for long enough. There's two of these fish in here, by the way. And another type of natural filtration that I wanted to mention is sponges. So there's all kind of various sponges that you can get in your tank. I don't have that many, but here's a very obvious one, which is kind of yellow brown. And sponges actually filter the water that comes through your tank, and also remove waste from your water. So sponges are a very nice thing to have in your tank. Sometimes they can seem like a nuisance. So you might think I removed those sponges because they're growing over some of my rocks, but they're actually a very healthy thing to have in your reef. So please consider leaving them in there, because they will in the end prove to be beneficial for your tank. And also in your sump there might be some sponges, small sponges like pineapple sponges. These are also very beneficial. So sponges are a good thing. and unless they are completely growing over your corals, I would recommend leaving them in your tank. So that was the video about filtration. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, and if not, I hope it was at least enjoyable enough to watch for 10 minutes. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. For now, have a great weekend. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.